evening, survivalists. Indoors at the moment. Best place to be and all, even if you're a hard guy like Bear Grylls. But anyway, just thought I'd show you a few tips with the tuna tin. All I've done with this basically is eating the contents. I mean, some people will bore a hole in the top, shove a wick in and light it. It's fine, it works for a period of time. But this is a far more permanent thing to do if you've got oil. You can heat it and leave that squeeze it out and leave that existing oil in. Or if you find oil, as I say in the down below, you will be able to burn it in it forevermore. But I'll go below in a minute and we'll show you how this works. But basically all I've done, shoved the lid off, took the lid off. It's wedged in that tight, I don't want to pull it out because there's oil underneath. Bent it round a bit to stand, or just however you make it work stand. That makes a basic reflector. You don't have to have it in, you can take that out and just use it as a candle style. As I explained, if you use the solid fuel like fat, animal fat, grease lard, whatever you can get your hands on, you don't need to take it through the side. You can stick it vertically into the fat and let it stick up like a candle. It's not portable unless you've got some shrink wrap or something, or a bag to put it in, because it will drip in your pocket. But it's a permanent camp thing. If I had it, I'd have several of these around the camp. I've lit it, as you say, it works quite well. As I say, I will go down below and show it, but it works quite well. And it does give up a lot of light. And it's I've done quite a big wick, which I'll explain, which shows it well. But not so easy to blow out because it's a big wick and there's plenty of oil on it. But plenty of uses for it. As I've described. I just thought of another one. Actually, I can't pass it on. What was that? What on earth was that? Oh, it warms your hands. This tin, because it's coming out the side, this tin actually warms. It'll probably get hot, very hot, but it gives you warmth on your hands. So it's a warmer as well. You can pull it into your face for night time. As long as you didn't set everything on fire, it would keep you warm. Well, not your whole body warm, but it would warm your extremities, if you know what I mean. Just an all-round useful idea. Something I thought of, something I've used before, but I haven't used it with oil. I've put some vegetable oil in this. And it works very well. But anyway, we'll go down below and have a quick look. As I say, it speaks for itself. I don't have to build one in front of you. But if you do have a problem, which you will, just give us an email, drop me a line, Facebook me, whatever, and I'll work it out for you, give you an explanation. I don't think you will. But anyway, let's go down below. Anyway, we are down below with the finished product. But as I say, there's more than one use for everything in a survival situation. Just let me move the vape out of the way. A can of tuna, we eat the tuna, 1. We use it as a lamp, 2. We use the lid as a reflector, which is still 2, because we can have it with or without. If we want a directional light, we can use the lid, or don't have to pull it out of there because it's got oil on the bottom, but we can use the lid as a signalling mirror. It won't polish up, but it will give some glint to help us in the sunlight. So quite a bit out of that tin of sardines, really. Now, just to show you what I made the wick out of, and you're not going to have one of these in a survival situation, or you just might. It's a bit grubby, this. But if you've got a flannel in your pack, then you can simply cut this piece out and use that as a wick. I had it somewhere. I can't think what it is. See what I mean? I just cut that out of this side and put it in there. Yeah, sorry, put it in there. Used it in there as the wick. Excellent wicker material. Usually got a face cloth somewhere on the plane after it's crashed or whatever. You know, but if you've got a face cloth, I can still use it as a face cloth or a towel or whatever. After removing the border or the centre bit, but the centre bit works really well. But to be honest, anything you can find to make a wick, because this has, rather than have it through the top, this has quite a unique purpose, that with oil in it you can tip it up and keep feeding the wick without losing your oil. And you see the wick's quite wet. I'll light it in a minute. It probably will last, I haven't run it completely, but this would probably last in one session 2-3 hours with that amount of oil in. If I had animal fat or lard or anything get my hands on like that, then I would fill it with fat, soak the wick, heat it up, melt the fat, soak this wick in the fat, pull it up out of the fat somehow so it was standing in the middle, or rather that way round, standing in the middle, and wire it or a couple of bits of stick till the fat's set. That way you could carry it in your pocket. This way you've either got to tip this out and do something with it, because it'll still keep dripping, you know, so it's more of a static idea really. I think you get the point with that really, that oil isn't as convenient as animal fat. Animal fat works just as well, but you just got to remember that you only leave a bare amount above the fat, so that it melts the fat and starts drawing it up at the same time. It will work. What actually happens is the wick chars out at first and you think it's going to burn away, but it doesn't. It blackens off, and then it continues to burn. As you can see, this is wet, but the beauty about this one, just having a hole in the side and a wick shoved through it, you can pull it out and trim it off as it gets knacked. You can put it on a rock with your knife, whatever. You can trim the wick, is what I'm saying. So not a bad little idea to get out of the hole. The other thing is that you will find in lots of situations today, wrecked cars, vehicles of anything, don't forget to get underneath and hammer something into the sump and make a hole, because in there there'll be something like a gallon of oil that'll last you for months in this kind of thing. And this will work on any kind of oil that's flammable, and all oil is flammable, I think, but you'll give it a go. But excellent little device, a feed and a long-lasting companion. Anyway, here we are. Let's give it a light. Where's my lighter? You're like the best prep guys in the world. I never am. Someone's nicked my lighter. Sick as a chip. It is. Sorry. So anyway, multiple use. Let's leave that on there. For one tin of sardines. By the way, you can also use this lid. You can sharpen it. It is quite, it's not sharp, but it is quite sharp. You could sharpen. It's very flexible, and you could sharpen and sharpen and sharpen this to a point of using it as a blade. You'd have to hold it quite close to the edge as you cut things, but it would use as a blade. So really, we've got a few items, and please send me any more items. The other thing is, if it's a ring pull variety, then all we need to do is trim this here and here and twist it to give it the barb and sharpen this end, and you've got a fish hook. Did I go off camera there? So another one to add to it, if it's a ring pull, a fish hook or an improvised fish hook. Not the best in the world, it would have to be quite a big fish you're after, but you could work this down and any part of this lid into fish hooks and other things. So don't dismiss the humble tin, to be honest with you. Even as I'm sitting here thinking, there's probably lots more survival things I could use this tin for, even if it was empty. I'd make the same thing without the reflector. It works quite well. But anyway, let's light it and see what happens. I have lit it and it's charred the wick now, so I'll do that. Let it get going, and then I won't turn the lights off because the computers are going. As you can see, it burns, and it continues to burn, you know. And as I said before, if you've got a problem with the wicker material you use, you simply give it a tip, not over the edge, but give it a tip, let it feed the wick, and keep that going every now and again. If you do burn the wick, pull it out and trim it. Blow it out, pull it out and trim it. Now this works because it's quite a thick wick. It takes quite a bit of wind. So you could walk about the camp, especially with the reflector on it. Not the reflector's brilliant. You could probably find something else tinny to work on. And to be honest, if it had had a concave base on this, which it hasn't, you could use it to light fires. But I'll go through that again with another tin, a coke tin. But anyway, that's it. The tuna tin lamp of multi-use. Okay. Anyway, that was a look at the what could you call it? Multi-purpose tuna can oil lamp. All right. I hope you got something from it. These are only tips, and they're to get us thinking. Because quite often, you know, if we're in a bad situation, then we're not thinking right. And quite often, if we've practiced something or someone's thought something out and go, "Oh, that was a good idea. Bloody hell, can lie in there, I'll make that." I will go through it. Most of us, I'm sure, know, most of you experienced guys out there know how to light a fire using a Coke tin or a beer can or something like that. I'll do that for you probably in the next vid, but I need sunlight for that, and we don't get a lot of that in the UK. So anyway, as I say, I hope you got something from it. This is Pete at Survival and Bushcraft signing out. Please, which side's it on? Don't forget to subscribe. I need you to build a channel, guys. I'm enjoying it, and I'm hoping you're enjoying it.